Is not here tonight. Steve. But interested in giving, I think we're going to try to move that we're all attending. Is there any public input? No? Okay, if none, let's move on to staff and legal reports. Mr. Mary, report from you? No, no report from staff. The chief on here. Pardon me. Your report for fire, how about engineer? Nothing, Chris? Boring. No arguments. I heard P and Z was exciting. This is lost. Well, let's move then on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated?
I make a motion to approve it as stated. Did you hear it? I make a motion to approve it as stated.
I'll second. Second by Councilman Castillo. Your vote. All in favor? All opposed? Passes. We have one action on this evening. It's to discuss and take action regarding resolution 24. They awarded construction for that to determine a guaranteeing the price of the construction of hall addition and parking lots and authorizing the mayor to execute necessary documents. A little bit of context of
There's a big view, this code, it's at the minimum, it's maximum.
Maximum engagement.
It's no longer to be.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, just so everybody knows, we decided to move forward with this addition with a construction loan service for one, the primary reason, we're not in the business of construction a lot of things. And so having additional staff hired down to me. So having we also think that this construction manager is being hard will reduce the risk associated with the project and the process of construction. It will allow also more to some contractors for the work that they're contracted will be easier for it also simplifies communication on telling staff communicating multiple. So we think it's a good idea. We are recommending Steve Kohler doing the report as our CMO. We deliberated quite a bit. We met with two of them, Bill Brady and Dave Stockton. We think Steve is the most qualified for this job. He knows the town well. He has relationships with us. We trust him. But I don't think that those relationships are going to compromise objectivity or independence. We also think he has the ability to listen to the product. I think if we didn't have this in place, it would extend it. So I think given the timing, given the cost, given the risk. Any comments?
Steve, could you give some background in terms? Have we had any indications of bids or have we talked to other contractors? And I personally, professionally, I think the world of Steve. I actually, when I was mayor, I hired Steve. And I think he's performed well for the town, but can you give us some color? You know, do we know what the universe, I know construction is very expensive today, and it's hard getting the right people and the right subs, but the company.
Yeah, be happy to. I did mention that we had two of the farmers as well too, but Governor Castillo and town administrator both had a lot of this one under for similar to them if we need additional color. Or Troy.
So Councilmember Gotham, so any CMR that you bring on board, whether it's Steve, whether it's still in agreement, whoever that is, they have to go out and get public bids just like we do. And so they will go out, you know, a lot of times the CMR will go out and start getting some estimates from some of their contractors that they deal with on a daily basis. So that process, you know, we're in that process, and that's why this resolution says the mayor will negotiate those prices. And so we have a ballpark of what it's going to cost us to build this, and he's working on that, from what I understand. And so what will happen is he will have to take this and put a public notice out for bid, just as if we did it, because that's a requirement of any CMR to do that. And then he will get those bids in, and then we have the advantage of using a CMR is now we have the advantage of getting what we call best value. In other words, if we put it out as the town, we would have to go with a low bidder because that's just how municipalities work. And so by using the CMR, he'll get all the bids back in based on that public notice that he put out. And then we'll evaluate all the bids, who's qualified, who can meet our timelines, who comes within that budget time frame. So then Steve will put all that together and then he'll create that guaranteed maximum price for us. Is how it kind of works. It's that fully answered your question, but he's working on that information of, you know, where we're at with that. And were you going to add anything to that?
I've been involved more or less on the outside of the periphery. Construction is not my forte. The good side of that is it gives me a look at what everybody's doing from an outside perspective, where we get to ask a lot of questions. The first thing I'm going to mention is that everything that we've done thus far in the construction project has been done with the advice of the town attorney. Since we don't do this on a regular basis and recommend things a long time, we are a little bit out of our means. So we've had to make sure that everything we do is in compliance with state regulators and what the law requires, as the issue about bids, and there are different apparently regulations as to if we did the project as a town in ourselves versus hiring professionals to do it for us. After a lot of discussion, after looking at the other firms, as an example, this project, if you think about it from a large firm standpoint, 1,500 square foot building in a parking lot is small potatoes to them. They're frankly not interested in, we couldn't afford what they want to get paid in order to cover their overhead. So we were looking at different options, and then Steve's name came in. And trying to stay a little bit on the inside as well. Obviously, Steve's our respected. We can't have him respecting the work he does. So that was the first decision. Should we pick him? And he's the right guy for the job. He's qualified to do the job. That is one of the issues that came in, and obviously he's an inspector. We have a third-party inspection process, but Steve, because of his background in the town, he's obviously you hired. He's been here a really long time. He continues to be the town, so he is vested in our town. He doesn't live here, so from that standpoint, he's a good choice. He does have a lot of contacts in the construction industry, and probably one of the biggest things is he can start and complete this project in very quick, with the caveat that we want a good product again. So this isn't a rush it through, get the lowest bidder, and we end up with a lot of problems. This is a let's get the project done correctly. So that because things are unfolding rapidly, people should hopefully get our site inspections. That'll kick into gear. Hopefully, the authorization for us to have the police department, which will bring in issues. One of them being ability for them to.
Have you identified the inspector again?
Yes, Larry, yeah, we'll get through a contract with them, that contract with you guys in February.
Yeah, and that was. We're not gonna, obviously, there's a reason, we're not gonna touch each other.
The most important thing to focus on is doing it with a CMO. Troy and any of the other staff, the council, the mayor, we go to one individual to discuss project, what's being done, what isn't being done, why is it something. We talk to one individual instead of 20 different subcontractors. And it just makes the process simpler for everyone.
Well, and I think it is dangerous to have to be forced to take a little bit. That is trouble.
Yeah, and that goes to the agility, the courtesy, I think it's the one. We want the best. Yeah. It's a value. Which you can pay less to get it. Yeah. Profit. So 2x the 150. Other questions, comments? So this resolution, I'll say it again. This resolution will lead to being. County church and they go to office. To hire people, this job. The resolution specifically is like, there's no discussion. Suppose we ask for a opening, is to consider resolution 24-2. The environment, a guaranteed maximum price for construction of town hall addition and parking lots.
I'll make a motion that we that this resolution 24-02 as stated.
First, I think
Make a second.
Second. In favor? Opposed? Thanks. Thank you. Any future agenda items?
Yes, Councilman will have, the guarantee maximum talks on the 12th, that'll be up there.
February?
Here, correct. And then we'll also have a building inspector, a third party building contract along with that. For those of you on that agenda for sure. That's one.
Thank you. Steve? Also, the mayor had asked, and I made a presentation regarding Trinity. Water. If there's time, obviously, it's postponed the agenda. I will be available to make a presentation. That be, should the agenda on the 12th.
Very good. Anything else? Future agenda items? Go ahead and look into adjourn. Your business is complete. I'll make a motion complete.
We're sweating the clock, so you.
Oh. Bring a second.
I'm second.
Excuse me. In favor? Aye. Vote. We're adjourned. Thank you.